Everybody's favorite day of the week is now in full effect. We're talking about our Friday high noon broadcast. What is happening, y'all? Everybody from Mark Wiseman to Marcel Pantaleone to Don Peralta, Noemi, Stevie B, Rags, on and on it goes. Creative Tony's in the house. He's still up there in the wild scenery, rugged landscape of an Oregon. Creative Tony, the trees are looking good out there. What did you do? ATVs yesterday? That's Ozzy Osbourne wiped out on an ATV once. You got to be careful on those things, kid.
Dude, I could see how those accidents happen, man, because yes, we did do ATVs and we went to the top of this mountain peak and looked at all the mountains of near Bend, Mount Jefferson, Mount Washington, Three-Fingered Jack, dude, the mountain named Three-Fingered Jack.
Why do they call him Three-Fingered Jack, Tony? Let's get into it. Does it resemble the three fingers?
It looks like three peaks like that. And then there's the Sisters Mountain Range too, which is
just about to say Three-Fingered Jack. That sounds a little sexist as far as I'm concerned. Why can't we acknowledge the female of the species? But then you just said, sounds like we have. What's the next landmark you want to talk about?
The sisters, the three sisters. Which
okay,
is three,
now it's starting to balance. Now we're starting, because we got ladies in the audience, Tony. We got your Noemi's, your Patty from Napa's, your Leah Phillips's. I don't want the girls to think they don't have a place in the PMP familia. Everybody's welcome here. I don't want Three-Fingered Jack stealing all the thunder and I've never heard of Three-Fingered Jack, but I salute the name, dude. Sounds like a gangster from Brooklyn. Dude, Three-Fingered Jack's going to take care of it. He'll pick up the envelope. You know what I mean?
I love Pine Needle out of the gates asking, did Three-Fingered Jack have a glove on, dude? Like Tony One Glove. But also, dude, then Black Butte and looking at Black Butte Ranch. It was beautiful, man. But these ATVs, these are amazing machines, man. And they just eat up Earth, basically. They just eat up Earth.
Don Peralta coming in with some early comedy. That's the goal today, dude. As much comedy as possible. Don Peralta coming in. He goes, Three Fingers Jack sounds like a movie Rags would be watching in his basement when there's nobody home. I agree 100%. He's got movies that are worse than that, Dom. Trust me on that one.
Well, let's just say, Paulie, if you had your three fingers and then you have a hole with the other two fingers, that's all I'm saying.
Wow. Well, okay. Yeah.
What?
No, I'm not saying anything. That was on you. I'm just listening. I'm listening to you drop science, dude. Oh, speaking of dropping science, dude, and the sounds of science, dude. Shout out to the sounds of science, dude. Again, this is why we're doing the Beastie Boys musical assignment. There's something about their comedy that's just hitting me the right way lately. Like music that kind of kicks ass, but it's also really funny as you're listening to it. I can't say that about many bands, but the Beasties are one of them. So, Tony, we will get into the musical assignment a little bit later on today. Are you ready with your Beasties? You're like a black belt Beasties, guys. I don't know what you're coming with.
I am ready, and I think I'm going to change up my pick. But I'm going between
up your pick. What are you talking about? Don't do that. You're supposed to always go with your initial gut instinct, like the SATs. You know. Yeah,
well, I had gut instinct both ways last night when I was thinking about it. So I'll make the decision when the time has come, Paulie. But I'm going to do an instrumental pick and a lyrical pick. So
fancy pants. Okay, fancy pants, Creative Tony. Tony, I got to acknowledge Escobar the Third. First, he's always one of our favorite guys. But bro, we talked about the sounds of science. He's driving the lane right now with "She Blinded Me with Science," bro. One of my favorites from what did Thomas Dolby do? The keyboard line. Science. TV,
blinded me with science,
dude. The guy's about science, dude. Shout out Escobar. I like where your head's at today, bro. The more blinded me with science, the better we'll all be. Yeah.
Also, speaking of dropping science, we're gonna Johnny Lund, our Basque brother, our Bay Area Sports Collective brother, drops science all the time on his own channel at John Lund Radio. John Lund's gonna be joining us at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to that very much because we love John. Great dude, and we miss John. I miss John. I miss seeing
he's John Lund. Let me just say this to everybody in the audience. I can tell you this from having worked in the same building with him for a long time. Like Johnny Lund was the kind of guy that when we'd be changing, we'd be ending our show, and he'd be walking in with Greg Papa. Shout out G Pops. Hope you're feeling okay today, buddy. Always thinking of you, man. Get well, get well, get well. But like John would walk in the studio and immediately there was a good vibe in the room. Like he was always laughing. He always had something positive to say. And let me tell you what, not everybody over there was like that, okay? But Johnny Lund was always coming in with the good vibe. So I've always been a fan, and I know he's crushing it with his new show. Looking forward to having him, T.
Also, when there was, and I'm not going to get into details, but when there was some tumultuous activity at the leader, John and I spoke up against it. John had my back big time. and in a couple of meetings, he had my back as well too. So it was great.
Now I'm getting curious. What kind of tumultuous meetings are we talking about? What was the topic? Anyways?
Just a former program director and behavior and stuff. So there was meetings about it, and John had my back big time. And
dude, behavior, Tony. There was behavior. You know what I mean? Some behavior that was a little off-putting over there. I can't dispute what you're saying. There was some behavior going on over there. Questionable behavior. Yeah,
totally, dude. So Johnny, he was just a great colleague and a great friend, or is, I should say, a great friend. And we're excited to have John on today. And trust me, I'm curious to know how frustrated he is with the Giants and Niners, because if he's anywhere close to our frustration, then it's going to be an interesting ride with him today at 12:30. Because, dude, Paulie, I don't know what to say anymore. Like Ben Barch, the O lineman for the Niners, he's not playing tomorrow. And it's like, okay, are we going to get any information except for that it's an elbow injury? Like that's all we're getting. And it's like, okay, he's just not playing tomorrow. All right, whatever. I thought this was like a big week for people to play, so then they could rest up for the season opener. Anyways, I was looking it up too. Barch, by the way, 21 games in 3 years he's played. 21 games in 3 years, dude. So the fact that even when he becomes, healthy, he's not going to, the numbers say he's not going to remain healthy. So this kid, Connor Colby from Iowa, step right up, dude. Earn your wings, brother, because you're going to get the call at some point, man. Because, dude, it's elbow right now, but it was he just came off the PUP list from quadricep injuries like a couple weeks ago. Then before that, it was his knee. Then before that, it was his ankle. And, dude, don't get me wrong, man. When you play the game in the trenches, man, you are a tough SOB, man. This is the toughest position to play, I think, in football, is being
a street fight on every snap, dude. Hands, you're slapping dudes, you're swim moving guys. You're right. The ankles are getting stepped on. I sometimes I got to be honest with you, Tony. In the when I'm watching football, I'll just pick out an offensive lineman and I'll be like, I'm gonna watch this guy on this snap and just see what his assignment is. But also, you're right. So it's funny that you said that. Now with the Giants, like. I'm not even, it's not, you said like concerned and frustrated. I'm kind of past it, dude. There's something about getting swept. That Padre series, I think, did some irreversible damage to me, dude. I kind of let go of the wheel. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it anymore. Like, it's not worth the agita, as they say, the heartburn, the concern, the gripping, like game after game after game. Like I just said, you know what? You guys want to lose 11-1 in front of your home fans and under God and all this stuff. Shout out to God, by the way, on a Friday. Tony, we're losing ball games under God. You know what I mean? That's no way to treat God. And I've had it. So I feel like I kind of let go of the wheel, let the Giants, I'm going to watch them, but whatever happens. I don't expect them to be in the playoffs. And part of me doesn't even want them in the postseason playoffs because I want them to feel provoked to make a change, a big change. And again, I'm sorry that it probably is going to be Bob Melvin, but something has to give here, Tony. Something has to change.
Yeah, dude. Well, hold on. Let me share this. I wanted to share this from Alex Pavlovich because this is something I saw on Twitter, and I was like, you know what, Pavs, good for you, dude, for saying this. And look at this. He says, losing 13 of 14 under any circumstance is hard to swallow. Doing it with a $200 million roster that's pretty much completely healthy and is playing in front of good crowds. The Giants drew 35,080 people on Wednesday is completely unacceptable. It's the kind of thing that should lead to organizational meetings on the off day to figure out if heads need to roll.
Okay, a couple quick things I need to shout out on behalf of John Joseph and all the other headbanging metalheads in the audience. Shout out Judas Priest. Some heads are gonna roll. Dude, here's our new single, Tony. It's called Some Heads Are Gonna Roll. They actually have they made a video for it and everything. Shout out Some Heads Are Gonna Roll by Judas Priest. Also, shout out Juan Santa Maria. Great name, very musical. Juan Santa Maria. Juan Santa Maria says, I've also let go of the steering wheel. Bro, I feel you, bro. It's hard to watch. It's been really hard to watch. And then finally, I saw a super go flying by. Thank you, Tony. Candlestick. Wait, is this like Giants baseball? Done. Instead of one, dude. Giants baseball. Done. Yeah, dude, I think I feel you on that one, dude. Done. Yeah.
Dude, and he's right, man. Like, it's time. We're going to talk to John Lund about this too, but I saw John Shea had an article in the SF Standard talking about it's time to bring up the kids. It's time to bring up the focus on Wiz and Hunt and Birdsong, McCray, Tidwell, and Eldridge too. Now's the time. Now's the time to bring up Eldridge and give him some MLB at bats. If you're throwing the towel in the season and it's done and you're that far back, now is the time to give him some maybes and some exposure for him to see major league pitching and to see how filthy major league pitching is. So I'm all for it, Paulie. I don't know how you feel about it, but I would assume you're for letting the kids play.
100%. I mean, what are they going to have left to play for pretty soon? If this continues, I mean, they're not going to have any mathematical path to the playoffs. I mean, here comes Tampa Bay. I don't know what to expect this weekend, but no, dude, bring up Eldridge. I want to see all these guys. Like you said, I mean, I don't think there's any way it can hurt the Giants. Hey, before we go any deeper, T, let's, hey, John Nadali, good to see you, brother. Let's
dude, speaking of John Nadali had a great, I think it's Nadali. He had a great chat just a minute ago. He says, in the words of Dwayne Kuiper, this season is over.
Dude, Nadali's dropping a lot of good riffs over here, too. He's going $30 crab sando, Schmidt hitting in the 3-hole, Giants baseball, nothing like it. No question. Hey, Tony, let's do a Long Bridge. Let's give some love to Long Bridge Pizza.
Hold on. Nutter is a super. And look at Sharp Park Golf Course. Beautiful sight, Nutter. He says, at this point of the season, do you think the Giants will finish the season above 500? That's a great question, man.
It's a really great question. And I hate that that's going to become like the new goal, like as we get into late August and September. Hey, we can finish. I don't care about 500. I feel you, Nutter. And thank you, by the way. It's a good question. But I hate that, Tony, that's going to be the focus going down the stretch. Hey, at least we can finish at 500. When they were at their best, do you remember, and I don't, I'm asking you for help on this or anybody in the comments line, when they were maxed out with their best record of the year, how many games like over 500 were they at their best? They were like 12, 13, 14 games at one point, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they've gone on a horrific slide. I think it's like 8 and 20.
And again, it really kind of coincides with Devers coming to the Bay.
Yep.
And I'm not pointing a finger at him like, in a singular way. There's more going on than just Devers, but it is kind of interesting as like the season was moving along nicely. We needed some pop. Devers came, bam, the ship starts sinking. Anyway, Thank you, Nutter, very much. I don't know. I hope so that they finish over 500, but the way it's going, I don't know. What do you think, T?
My shout out to my friend Mark Wiseman, who's a diehard Angels fan, who's on the chat today. He was, the Angels were having a rough first half of the season, rough go. Then all of a sudden they signed Lamont Wade Jr. And so I started riffing with him saying, oh, dude, your season's saved. You got Lamont Wade Jr. Now Angels and Giants have the same record. And I texted him earlier. I said, I like to call it the Lamont Wade Jr. effect in Anaheim. So Giants and Angels have the same record now. Dude, Giants and Diamondbacks are tied. So unless the Diamondbacks played yesterday, I didn't check because I tuned out of baseball yesterday with no Giants ball. And the Padres are now first in the NL West. So go Padres, go. And
by the way, Lily Merchant, sorry to you, real quick. Lily Merchant has the answer that we asked a question for. The Giants at their best were 12 games over 500 and 1 game behind the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe it's the same team, how poorly they've played really after the All-Star break. It's been pretty bad. Tony, Long Bridge Pizza, a little love for his sponsor? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, go.
We want to talk a little Long Bridge Pizza today, as we generally do on the Polymac Particle Show, but it's a big weekend for pizza enthusiasts. Now, I don't know if Nicky DiFrancesco is on the line today, but he wound up being the winner of the tickets to Pizza Fest, Bagel Fest, Beer Fest, Creative. Tony, I'm going in, bro. I'm heading in. I'm going into the city tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to this, actually. Washington Square Park is the location. Neil Denardi, as usual, will be front and center, flipping pies, repping LBP. You down with LBP? Yeah, you know me. Long Bridge Pizza will be in the house flipping pizzas with their sourdough crust. I'm telling you right now, I want to say something disparaging about another pizza place in town, but I'm going to hold back. I'm going to try to be a gentleman. But let me just say this. There's this one pizza place in town. It's not Long Bridge Pizza, Tony, but these guys are always coming in. Oh, we win all these awards. Look at the ribbon. I got a ribbon on the wall. I got we won an award overseas. And let me tell you what, bro, the place that's always beating their chest about winning awards and ribbons, you know who I'm talking about? I'm not going to say the name, but Tony, do you know who I'm talking about? The award-winning place.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Guess what? Hey, let me give you one of those. Guess what? Give me one of those. Can I get a Chris Walken? Guess what?
I don't think I have a Christopher. I don't have Christopher Walken in the new soundboard. So hang on. I'll have to get back up. Sorry, dude. No, go for it.
No, it's okay. Well, let me recreate it for you then. Guess what? I prefer Longbridge pizza to that so-called award-winning pizza 10 times out of 10. If you guys know who I'm talking about, nothing else needs to be said. And it's just a better pie, in my humble opinion, as a pizza, as a student, a devotee. Tony, I got to say, Longbridge blows away that award-winning place 10 times out of 10. That's just me.
Paulie, sourdough crust, dude. Sourdough dough. But that is what sets it apart, in my opinion. Not only the incredibly different assorted toppings that Neil Donardi has come up with in that kitchen, but also the sourdough crust. I mean, dude, it is so freaking good. And also, these other places, you're not going to get the chicken parm sandwich. You're not going to get the gabagool. You're not going to get the gabagool sandwich.
Chopped cheese, tell you that much.
You're not getting the chopped cheese. You're not getting the smash stack burger either, dude. So, seriously. And Longbridge Pizza will be at the Pizza, Bagel, and Beer Festival tomorrow. They have a booth right set up there on Stockton Street. And also, I'm showing the website right now, purplepass.com. If you just search purplepass.com or San Francisco Pizza Fest, this will show up and you can buy tickets if you'd like to go hang out with Paulie and our winner, Nikki DiFrancesco, and Longbridge Pizza and Neil Donardi. They will all be there. And also,
Tony, should I turn this into like a Grateful Dead, like shakedown vibe? Should I bring like bongos and a couple of hacky sacks? And dude, sure. And by the way, dude, the one question I've always had about the Grateful Dead scene is I try to like force that into the pizza vibe tomorrow. Bring my bongos, I'll start dancing. What's the dude, Tony? You and I, both card carrying members of the hippie community for a long time. What is the deal with the guys who walk around with the sticks, dude? You got 2 sticks, you're hitting another stick. Like, I don't have time for the sticks. Get out of here with the sticks.
Totally disagree. Again, we're going to go down different roads.
What's the point? I'm walking around hitting sticks. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
It's focus, man. It's hand-eye coordination. Dude, you got to be good. You got to be skilled to pull that off as you're walking through a dead or fish lot.
You know what I look forward to is the next time you come walking up to me, dude, with your sticks at a show, I'm going to take one of those sticks and I'm going to throw it like a boomerang. I'm going to be like, there it goes. Yeah,
you're going to get some angry. You might get bum rushed, dude. You're going to get some angry hippies on you.
Okay, well, I'll worry about that in the moment. See, I'm not worried about getting bum rushed by 3 Wookiees. I can handle myself. All right. By the way, I will see you down at the Pizza Fest tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. Thank you, Neil, for the tickets. I look forward to hanging with you and trying some of the bagels, and the beer should be a great time. So I hope to see you out there tomorrow. I'll be there at noon. I hope to see you.
Yeah, it goes from 11 to 4 p.m. and your ticket includes all you can eat pizza and bagels and 4 beers. So have at it. And also, Paulie, Giants are at home all weekend long, 7:15 tonight, 6:05 tomorrow night, 1:05 on Sunday. If you're going out to the yard, stop by Longbridge before or after the game.
Yeah.
And Neil and Longbridge, thank you for your just continued support, man.
First
official sponsor of Polymax Particles, and we love you guys. Thanks, man.
We do. We love you, Neil. We love all of you guys. Andre, Steven, we'll see you tomorrow down there. I'm very much looking forward to that. Tony, we got a super. My mom is going to be so happy about this. Okay, Sanchi, my man. Sanchi, again, the generosity of a Sanchi allowing me to go on a little shopping spree at Red Devil last week. Thanks again for that, Sanchi. I won't forget that. That was awesome. So here he goes. Paulie, as a fellow salmon head, can we circle back to cook prep recipe? You got it on the butter, the Dijon, and the brown sugar. How do you cook it? Pan, fry, oven? Okay, great questions. My mom's going to be thrilled because this was a very easy recipe she passed along to me. And again, if you missed the show, we were talking about salmon, and I just offered up this new great recipe my mom shared, which was melt some butter in a pot with some Dijon mustard. You don't want to overpower it with the mustard, like maybe like a teaspoon. Boom, throw it in there. I like a little fresh lemon on there too. Tony, squeeze that S. But after it goes in the oven, you want to salt and pepper it. You want to sprinkle your brown sugar on. I put it in the oven, Sanchi. I go 375, man. 375. Make sure you put that nonstick on the bottom so it'll come off nice and easy. But no, not a pan fry thing. It's in the oven at 375, and it cooks pretty fast. Probably no more than 15 minutes, I don't think, as far as I remember. And thank you very much, and good luck. Enjoy the great taste of your Dijon, your butter, and your brown sugar. Enjoy. Bon appetit, Sanchi.
Dude, Sanchi, thank you for the super. Thank you, Nutter, for the super. Thank you, Candlestick Kid, for the super. Love it. All of you guys. And Paulie, I wanted to this has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
But if there's hope for the next generation or the next generations coming up, I can show you why there's hope right now. Because, Paulie, we have been in Oregon all week long. We just found out that our house got TP'd yesterday.
As in toilet paper?
Yes, dude.
Like a Halloween, like that, like
so you didn't go around TPing houses when you were a kid?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
On the chat. Please join in on the chat. If you TP'd houses or your house got TP'd when you were a kid, because our house just got TP'd.
Now, time out though. This is generally a custom that occurs on Halloween. Like that's when most houses get toilet papered. Was my experience.
Yeah, so Noemi, to your question, kids still TP houses. I was stunned, but yes, kids still TP houses. And then I did more.
Miguel Salas coming in. Never. It's never. Actually, Escobar the third. We're getting clarification. Both. Okay, so it can be a Halloween thing, but apparently it happens in the middle of August as well. What did you do to provoke this attack, Tony? You must have done something.
Well, people knew we were out of town, number one. And then also, it's just, I love it's probably my son Dom's buddies just messing with him. And so
you're talking back in the Bay. Oh, I didn't put this together. I thought you meant up in Oregon. This happened.
No, our house in San Carlos got TP'd.
And we noticed you're not there. How do you know what happened?
My niece Sophia drove by the house and she texted me. She goes, "Dude, I just drove by your house. I think your house got TP'd." And so I'm like, "Wait, what? People still do that?" And then, dude, here it is, like TP. Yeah, see, Pine Needle, Tony. I had 3 sons. My house got TP'd all the freaking time. So yeah, I'm very happy that tradition carries on with the youth of today. And guess what? Payback's a you know what. And I can't wait to go with my son and TP these people's houses.
Well, let's not let things escalate now. You don't want things to escalate, Tony. If you're talking attacks, counterattacks, I need more of a pacifist approach from you, buddy. We're trying to keep the peace around here. Now you're talking about counter strikes. I'm starting to get worried.
Sorry, this is where I put pacifism, to the curb, Paul.
Okay, I like angry Tony. You don't get it that often, but I like Tony in a rage. I do. I like when Tony's like turns red and starts yelling. I enjoy that side of you. I do.
We're gonna TP, and these kids are caught on film because we have we have like a Ring camera outside our house. So these kids are caught on film TP in our house. And like, you know what? Payback is coming. Payback is coming. I can't.
Listen, these people that you got to understand, you strike out, you lash out at one of us in the PMP familia, you're lashing out at all of us. So don't. I can turn the whole PMP community loose after the culprit if you want me to. All we got to do is say the word. We'd be like, PMP familia, sick them, go get them, and then we'll find out who this person is, and the retribution could be tenfold. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Bobby, to quote Marcel, he says, "TP is a young man's game, Tony."
No, it is. You don't want to be running down the street with the cops chasing you. You got toilet paper under each arm, running from the woo. You know what I mean? It makes for some very embarrassing headlines. Although it might be good for the show to have you go through an arrest, or me. Maybe I'll get arrested this weekend. But I think a good arrest, a good bust, a scandal would be good for the PMP show.
Maybe I'll do a VIP video of us TPing the one of the people's houses that TP'd us. Maybe I'll do a VIP video for that. So
I've been telling Tony, you got to send some VIP stuff out while you're up there in Oregon. You're whitewater rafting, you're riding ATVs, and you got to get the VIPs. You got to share the moment with them to get them some content today, buddy.
I will. Well, the ATVs were great yesterday, and if you've never done it, I highly recommend it because these machines. And by the way, my wife Megan driving one of them, and my friend Pierce's wife Shannon. She's also a friend of mine, Shannon Lynch. By the way, Pierce Lynch is not related to John Lynch from the 49ers, but
I'm glad you asked. Thank you for following through. I always say that with a famous last name. You got to ask. You never know. We had a girl in our office. I'll never forget this. She was such a nice woman too. Remember that girl, Mallory Plant?
Yes.
Remember Mallory Plant? Yeah. Of course. What do I say to her the first day I met her? You know what's coming. She's like, yeah, hi, I'm the new, what did she do? Traffic? Is that what she was like in the traffic department or something like that? Really, really nice person. Very quiet, very kind of shy. And she's like, yeah, hi, my name's Mallory. I'm like, oh, cool. When did you start working? And I saw her name tag. It said Mallory Plant. I go, hang on. Wait a sec. Any relation to Robert from Zeppelin? I'm just asking. No, it turns out there was none. But it pays to ask. T. You got to ask.
Dude, no question. And so but his brother's name is John Lynch, but no relation. So
nice. Okay, very good.
I want to say, first of all, Ray Goodman, thank you for the super. And he's right. This would never have happened during COVID. The TPing of houses, because TPing was at a premium. Remember, empty shelves, dude. No toilet paper for days at the stores, dude. So Ray, you're all over it, man. And Robot Centaur, I think, had a similar comment in the chat, man. So, it conserve toilet paper in those times of need for sure. But when it comes to, just freaking pure shenanigans, I'm going to get some toilet paper and I'm going to make sure that it's recycled toilet paper. I'll use like the 7th generation toilet paper. And then, but my wife is like, Tony, make sure you don't do eggs. Eggs is when you go too far.
All right, listen. Well, eggs is here. You do an irreversible damage now. There's you get some of that egg stuff will really stain. Now we're getting the Lynch army is coming in strong. For starters, Sanchi goes, Tony, did you ask him if there's any relation to Marshawn Lynch? Great question. Great freaking question. Maybe even better, and you should follow up with Marshawn. You never know. And then on top of that, here he comes, dude. This is why John Joseph is such a valuable asset to the PMP community, because he always checks the metal box. He goes, Tony, have you inquired about George Lynch, dude? George Lynch. You know George Lynch.
Dude, yes, dude. And I'm thinking about Lorenzo Lynch, too, from the Lynch. Remember the Lynch mob on the ticket 1050 for the former Raider defensive back, Lorenzo Lynch, too. So there's a ton of Lynches, man. So
I forgot about Lorenzo. Well, by the way, for those that don't know, George Lynch, a lead guitar player in Dokken. And again, don't get confused. Dokken rhymes with rockin', Tony. You know that, and I know that, too. Okay.
That reminds me, Paulie, speaking of names, dude, speaking of names, a kid that we played in Tahoe 2 weeks ago, and I wrote a note to bring this up on the show, and I forgot his last name on the jersey was Dokken.
No, it's not. No,
Paulie, I swear the kid's
picture. You got to you got to capture the moment.
It was Dokken, and I said, kid, do you know the band Dokken? And
of course you don't know Dokken, bro. They don't know Dokken. No, they don't know. And by the way, Tony, I've seen Dokken. I think I saw him 3 times, dude. I'm not kidding. But anyway, go ahead.
This kid looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. He honestly got,
he goes, Dream Warriors, Breaking the Chains. You start naming the songs. Yeah. When it's still my love remains. What was that one? Your love is down to bow down down. In my dreams, dude. In my dreams, bro. Yeah.
Dreams, dude. So anyways, and like opposing coaches don't really talk to the other players a lot. And so when this kid, not only did I walk up to this kid and talk to him, but then I'm asking him, hey, do you know the band Dokken? Because your name is last name is Dokken.
Could Dokken play? Was he a baller?
He was a good ball player. Good ball player for sure. Definitely a good ball player. I was
Did they say his name on the PA? Stepping into the batter's box, ladies and gentlemen, here he comes, Don Dokken, third base. Did they say his name over the PA?
No, I mean, yes, they did, but they didn't say John Dock. I forget his first name, but I saw the last name. I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. We're playing against a kid named Dokken.
Yeah.
There's got to be some lineage. There's got to be some lineage to Don Dokken. There's got to be.
Well, there was now Dokken again. I love that we're having an organic Dokken breakdown right now. Dokken, dude, who are you into? I don't know. I like Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, Dokken, the early Dokken stuff. Tony, you got to say there was a controversy at the beginning of the Dokken career because people were mistakenly calling the band Dokken. So then they came out with the phrase, "Listen, Dokken rhymes with rockin'." You got to say it like that. Dokken rhymes with rockin'. Let there be no confusion, Tony.
Well, stand by, Paulie. I feel like we should just at least show the people who we're talking about. Just to make sure that there you go. Under lock and key, Paulie, right there. Rocking with Dokken, under lock and key. I'm just
such an 80s looking cover, too. Like they're standing in a cloud of smoke with like flame kind of vibes coming there. Yeah, under lock and key. Great album. You know what I mean? Great album. I saw him. I did. I saw Dokken 3 times, Tony, back in the day. What are you pumping?
I love when particles are created on the show by the PMP Familia. What? On the chat, Humdinger87 says, reminds me of Goggins. Paulie, if you'll allow me, I need to show the thing I sent to you last week of one Tom Brady and Goggins.
This is good.
Stand by, everybody. This is great stuff. This is great stuff because I think Tom Brady, there was a statue made for Brady at in Foxborough, correct? At the station. I believe that's what the whole media blitz was about.
Yes. Well, like you up on a media. By the way, dude, Tom Brady, cyborg, it's a question.
Right. Dude. I mean,
is there any way, dude? You could do this all day and I'll be, yeah, bro. Yes. You guys, help us out. Has Tom Brady morphed into Walton Goggins, dude? Again, you know what, Tony? I think Goggins might be the more handsome.
Dude, I mean, come on. Dude,
the whole Goggins thing, dude. Are you still watching Righteous Gemstones, by the way? Have you been watching?
I've taken a break because we've been on vacation and stuff, and I also am trying to finish The Bear, but I'm going to get right back in when I finish The Bear.
I finished The Bear. I finished it.
Oh, okay, good. Don't let me know.
You want to know what happens? Let me tell you what happens. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. But dude, what is Brady? You got to stop doing that.
Come on, man. It's great. It's great.
Incredible. It's incredible. Okay. And what is you gotta stop. What is Jesus Christ. Oh, no, because it's you got oh my God. Let's get Johnny Lund in here and get the wheels back on. Is he in the waiting room yet, dude?
He's not in the waiting room yet, Paulie, but I just want to share that and want to say thank you so much, Humdinger, because, dude, I wanted to share that on the show with you earlier this week, and I forgot, and thank you for reminding me, because that came out, and I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, that's the problem. See, that's the ongoing problem we have with bookmarks. First of all, nice coffee mug, dude, with the deer on there or an elk, whatever the hell that is. It's very nice. Yeah. Very outdoorsy, very woodsy. I got to tell you, I feel like with Brady, like, what's going on with him? Has he morphed into some kind of like half man, half robot? Like, he doesn't even really look human anymore, T.
Right. I think he's had a lot of work done, man. And,
why would he have work done? Honestly, I'm not being sarcastic. Like, he's a good looking dude. He's a world-class athlete. I don't think he needs any work, if I may gently submit that.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly, but he's a single guy now, and I don't know, maybe he's trying to hang on. He's trying to fight Mother Nature.
He's a single guy. Yeah, I doubt he's probably. Well, listen, I don't get it, but anyway, I was about to say one of the challenges we have on the PMP show is the bookmark segment that Tony now hates. By the way, we've gone through this. It was Tony's invention. Tony invented the bookmarks. He was like, "Paulie, got a great idea for a segment. We'll pull cool stuff off Twitter. We'll bookmark it and we'll save it, and then we can share it with the audience." But you never want to do it. Here's the problem. A lot of that stuff gets kind of time stamped. And then if we don't get to it, it's kind of missed its moment. You know what I mean?
Right. I totally get that, Paulie. And Robot Centaur is asking me to pull up the Brady rookie photo, and I'll oblige. I'm happy to oblige, Centaur. Just let me.
It's like two different people. Hunter 87 saying too much cryogenics. Too much cryogenics. I don't know, but he does look very odd now. He's like so chiseled. He barely looks human anymore.
Hang on, let me get rid of this little block up thing. Then there's the Brady rookie photo right there. So he's come a long way from that photo.
He looks like Bill Hader right there from Saturday Night Live. We got a little Bill Hader vibe happening.
It's so funny, man. He's being compared to Goggins in Righteous Gemstone. So it's a whole different scene now for Tom Brady. But hey, John Lund is in the green room. He's eating those M&Ms and he's enjoying the delectables we've left for him. He's getting fanned with palm leaves as we speak. So if we want to give some love to Don Peralta and Stellar Design before Lund joins us, that'd be great, P.
Tony, you're in my head. You're pulling. I was just about to say the very same thing. Johnny Lund, hang on one sec. Let's talk about Stellar Design, one of our great new sponsors. It's Don Peralta's company. He does such a great job for everybody. Hope you're having a great time up in the mountains, Don. We miss you back here in the Bay, but we'll see you soon. Stellar Design. Let's talk about Stellar, the San Francisco Bay Area-based industrial design studio shaping the future of product innovation. Now, they do have a new product launch. We've been talking about the Goha, the leaf sweep, sustainable plant cleaning tool to keep plants healthy, available at several retailers in San Francisco. The Plant Lady, Cloud Hidden, and a lot more. Get information online at gohaplantcare.com. That's all one word, gohaplantcare.com. It's funny because when you keep a bunch of plants in the windowsill like I do at my house, they do get kind of dirty. They get dusty. They get dirty. You really do got to clean them. You got to keep these guys healthy and happy. From breakthrough consumer electronics to plant care tools, Stellar Design merges cutting-edge technology with stunning aesthetics, as you've seen many times on the show. So your product works flawlessly and, of course, simultaneously looks amazing. Stellar Design, founded back in 2014. Shout out to 2014 Giants, by the way. They guide ideas from concept to production through prototyping, testing, and launch. Stellar creates award-winning design, Tony, meaningful connections between people. That's a really important part of Dom's business. He likes to connect with people. I know that about him, and I love that about him. Pardon me. So whether you're an individual with an idea, whether you're a startup, maybe you're a Fortune 500 company, Stellar Design offers partnership to achieve out-of-this-world design. Visit stellar.design and make design impact with Don Peralta. You can contact him anytime, Dominic at stellar.design, or call or text Dom anytime, 650-796-3144. Thank you, Stellar Design. Keep up the great work. We love having you on board. You know who else we love, Creative Tony? One of our colleagues, one of our Bay Area Sports Collective brothers. Haven't seen his smiling face in a little while. I'm looking forward to bringing him in. So let's say hello to John Lund, everybody, on a Friday.
Yeah. What's up, gentlemen?
Bro, so happy to see your face, John Lund. How you been, my brother?
Oh, man, never better, man. Kids are back in school, so I can drink during the day without getting the weird looks from the kids. They're gone. the other kids, getting ready for his last year in college. So I'm getting close to getting him off the payroll. My ex-wife is going to be off the payroll in November. I mean, how could things get better, man?
Let me say congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I still got a kid on the payroll too.
Yeah.
But one of my kids is off and I love the terminology, dude, on the payroll. I love that. And
they're freeloaders, man.
I did this, John. I told my kids, I'm like, listen, I will do everything I can to put you through school, give you a good chance at life and stuff. But like you said, John, when my oldest son graduated back in May, it was a great accomplishment, everything. But I was like, dude, guess what? Well, you're off the payroll now. You got to get out there and find your way. So, John, congrats, man. We're getting there. I got one more kid on the payroll, too. I got one more left. But
it's all right, though. He's being productive. It's not like he's being a jackass and waking up at noon every day. And, you were just talking about plants and hitting some plant and then, maybe drinking like I do during the day. He's fairly productive. And he was in Boston for the summer. So he just flew back yesterday. I was trying to get a hold of him, but, it's noon in Tempe. So why would he be up? So anyway, things are good, man. You guys look well, man. Tony, what's that background, dude? Where are you at?
I'm up in Sun River, Oregon for the week.
Dude, I know the area. I've worked everywhere, but I worked in Portland. And so I'm familiar with Oregon and the entire state and all that stuff. And Bend, and I've golfed all over the state there. You're in a good spot, man.
Oh, John, it's an incredible spot. And we're going up to Bend later today.
Yeah,
and there's some great breweries up there. We did some whitewater rafting earlier in the week. We did some ATVs.
Oh.
It's just been epic, man. Epic. So
cool.
Can't recommend it enough, dude. And by the way, John, isn't your son involved in media with Arizona State, by the way?
He just finished. I'm not going to bore people with the proud father bit, but he just finished this summer, and he's a West Coast kid his whole life, California his whole life. And he just finished the Cape Cod Baseball League, like the Wood Bat League. So he was a beat writer for one of the teams that actually Buster Posey played for. And they make you do all the social media. So he really understood, like, here's the beat, social media every day, doing all that different stuff. And then literally he got home last night. He gets like 2 days, and then he's a beat writer and he's traveling with the Arizona State football team. So
love it.
He's off to a good track. So if he, like I said, if he could just get off the payroll, they're paying him a few bucks, but yeah, he looks like he's going to get a media career.
Congrats. So that's great. Well, it runs in the family like his old man. Yeah. And I got to say the Cape Cod League is pretty, that's got a passionate following up in New England. Those people are really serious about Cape Cod baseball. They really are.
Dude, it's a wood bat league and they go crazy. And so what happened is that a lot of these kids from the SEC or the southern part of the country, he would be like, kid from LSU or a kid here or there. And dude, he'd get like it was football. Like he'd get like 100,000 people like, oh my God, this guy, because around here, baseball, it's like, okay, whatever. College baseball,
right?
Let alone the Giants who suck right now. And so it's difficult to talk about them. But I mean, yeah, it was a big deal. They make a big deal of it. And so, he had a good time with it. But anyway, that's that. So,
hey, Tony, let's give John some Lund from our audience because I saw Noemi had a message and she was a super. So let's find that one, get her up there for you. This is one of our great listeners here, John, one of our great viewers, Noemi Catalina. She makes hot sauce. She makes her own green apple hot sauce. Say it with the PMP familia. Noemi, love you, John.
Hello, John.
Yeah. Hello, John.
Yeah, that's very nice.
That's a Moscow Mule, John.
Yeah.
By the way,
Nice.
I just want to say that I want people to make the distinction. We're not ragging on Greg Papa.
No,
we're having some fun, and he knows.
He's our guy. And he's doing well, by the way. I text with him every day, and I'm not at liberty. Greg is. He's very private, but
right.
So I'm not at liberty to say what's going on or what is what. People are hitting me up all the time on private messages, and I'm not being an asshole when I don't return. It's just I'm not going to get into his private stuff, but he's going to be fine.
Good.
It's a long road. There's a lot of things going on, but he is going to be fine.
Well, that's great news. And we all love Greg. I think, the football season, the 49er season will be kind of missing a piece this year, but you're right. And that's the main thing is that we get Greg Papa healthy, back up on his feet and ready to do his job when he can. We'll look forward to his return. And John, let's talk about Greg Papa's 49ers for a second, man. Have you been spending time down at practice? Have you taken a look at the guys and everything?
Yeah. I've been down there to probably 10 or 12 practices. I was down at I didn't go to Vegas, but I was at the Denver, or I was at the Broncos joints, and they're thin. I mean, that's the biggest thing is they're really top heavy. You guys know. I mean, you got Kittle and Purdy and all these different guys and Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and everything, and those guys will all be fine. But what we're seeing is that there's 20 guys at a camp right now, and even yesterday against the Raiders, I talked to a couple of people and had them on my show. who saw the joint practices, and it's, there's just so many injuries, especially the defensive line, the wide receivers, uncertainty with the safeties. They can be a good team, especially given that the schedule pretty much stinks. I feel bad for people who have season tickets because basically the Rams is the only playoff team that you'll see. But if they have any injuries, and we know the NFL isn't like baseball or basketball, you're going to have injuries. It just depends on who, how long, what point of the season, et cetera. And so you're going to have those things. So we're seeing right now these key injuries, and Kyle Shanahan will say like a Mikael Williams or a CJ, well, it's only going to be a week. It's hyperextended knee. Well, Williams is already out. This is his second week, and he's not going to play. And that'll be his second preseason game. And West isn't going to play in this preseason game and probably won't play in the third. And so now what you're doing is you're taking these young guys and they're missing out on reps. And then we're all depending on them as fans to say, well, all the three defensive linemen that have to start, or the linebacker, or one of the safeties, or two, 6 to 8 is what Robert Saleh said. Well, they're just not getting enough reps because they're all getting banged up. So what's going to happen? And they're trying to tell you this, if you're listening, Saleh, every single press conference, we're going to start slow defensively. We're going to start slow. Kyle's saying it. Fred Warner's saying it. So when they have to score 30 to beat Seattle in the opening, weekend, and I don't know if they can, or early in the season when they have to score 30 while the defense catches up, don't be surprised and don't freak out, because Robert Saleh is already saying it might be week 8, 10, or 12 before they can have enough continuity to start playing well. Because you guys know when you play rookies, they're going to rookie. That's just what they do.
Yep.
Hey, John, what about how's the mysterious calf of Juwan Jennings? You got any calf updates for Juwan Jennings? I'm curious to know if it's contract related, the calf injury.
Yeah, I think it's more contract than calf. I mean, if we were doing calf gate and we had a meter that said, calf, whatever, calf injury, whatever, I'd have it like 80% contract than calf. And I know he sent out a weird Instagram yesterday. It was like 6:03 a.m. and he's like, look, I'm getting treatment. It showed his calf and somebody rubbing his calf, who it was. But it's like, dude, if it wasn't about the contract, and you would know who sends out a thing of you getting treatment, like nobody does. Right. But that we know that it's a contract. So look, all of a sudden, I think a number of people have said this who are a lot smarter than me. If he gets a new contract, all of a sudden the calf's, oh my God, it's a miracle. Like he's going to be, the hand of God touched the calf and he's going to be fine. What I had heard early was, all right, so he's going to make about $7 million this year. And what I had heard early was Niners were fine to kind of do what they did with Trent Williams or with Christian McCaffrey last year, which is, okay, we paid all these guys in this offseason, but we can bump you up to like 2 and 24. That means you're going to get a 2-year deal at $12 million a piece. That's a decent bump. And his side said, whoa. We're thinking 18 to 20 per year. And the Niners just got out of that business with Debo. So they're not going to put that much more into the room. So there's an issue right now because Juwan's thinking one thing and he has the team over a barrel with not only the Ayuk injury, but, Watkins looked good and Pearsall is looking good, but he scares the hell out of his injury. So he's playing it right, and I get it. But fans, I'm sure, are pissed going, dude, we need you right now. And the opening game against Seattle, now with Watkins having a high ankle sprain, I mean, dude, they might have to, can either of you guys catch? Like, I don't know. It might be that.
It does seem, John, like this kind of discord, this kind of like, I don't know, like these, there's been a vibe in the past several years with the 49ers in camp, whether it was Trent Williams holding out, Nick Bosa holding out, the Brock Purdy thing, they finally took care of that. Now it's Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk. It just feels like I would love to have a camp without like the dark clouds over the 49ers. And it seems like even when Brandon Ayuk got paid, this is the guy I want to ask you about. Like, I still am sensing kind of a doom and gloom vibe coming off Ayuk. And like, what is behind that, John, if you have any insights? Because he, listen, he held out. They paid him. When they put him on the field last year, I thought his play was suspect. He didn't even look that good. He didn't look like he was ready to play. So I guess my question is, in a big picture sense, what is he unhappy about? Where is the disharmony coming from with Brandon Ayuk today?
I think they're in a good place right now, but there's behind the scenes or not. I mean, this is a fact. The speculation of it is, they kind of got forced into that contract and they just kind of resent it. And like I said, this is a team that wants to reestablish themselves on the offensive and defensive line and go back to punching people in the face. Well, that's not exactly conducive with paying wide receivers 20 to 25, or in Ayuk's case, $30 million a year. So Look, if he were healthy at this point, they might have moved him. They're not going to move him now because they just don't have the opportunity to. And people saying Terry McLaurin, they don't want to renegotiate another contract. He's not coming to the 49ers. So, I don't think there's so much bad blood anymore and I was told this at the beginning, so I kind of laughed when some of the Niners insiders were like, well, he might be back for game 1. I was like, I heard he's absolutely on the PUP, so he's going to miss the first 4.
That's
and Kyle said this the other day that he's thinking 6 games. I knew at least it was the first 4. So, they're frustrated because if you look at it right now, if Brandon Ayuk's not hurt, then Juwan Jennings has to get in line. Like and that's the problem with Jennings is nobody has a problem with paying Brock, paying George, paying Fred, paying your stars, paying Bosa. But when you start going down and saying, okay, Juwan Jennings, who just signed a contract last year, wants a new contract, I'm sorry, and people may disagree with me, and that's fine. He's not a critical piece to the future of the franchise.
Right.
Those other guys are building blocks. Once you start giving out contracts to guys who are good, not great,
right,
then everybody who has a decent season starts lining up behind that dude and going, well, we gave it to him. Because I can say, look, we gave it to Bosa, we gave it to Brock, we gave it to Warner, we gave it to Kittle. You ain't those guys.
No.
Next. But when you start giving stuff to Jennings and you start because you're desperate like they are, and that's the problem they find themselves in. So honestly, Ayuk, I think they're fine with Ayuk. They're over it. They were pissy. They're over it. He's in the meetings. He's leading some meetings. Kyle likes him a lot. I think they're okay in that regard. But the Jennings thing, man, I think McLaurin's going to play week 1. I think Micah Parsons is going to play week 1. Like, these are just things that happen. Juwan Jennings, man, I don't know, because they're stuck in a really hard place. They're desperate, and he's the pseudo number 1 right now.
Right.
But the Niners don't want to go down that road and set a precedence because then a bunch of average players are going to line up. And you guys know this. In any sport, you start paying the average guys great, that's when you get in trouble.
Totally. Totally. The ripple effect is real, John. And John, also, the deal when you get supers on the show, we want to bring them to the forefront. So we have Stevie Bisecchio, Stevie B, and he echoes my concerns, especially with the recent injury to Ben Barch. He says, Lund, this O-line depth is horrifying, especially with Dillard gone. What's the move here, and how do they keep Purdy alive?
That's the question. The O-line, man. Yeah.
Well, they really like this Connor Colby guy, and like I said, he actually held up pretty well against the Broncos. What's going to happen this weekend, to give you a little, Saturday at 1:00, is that Colby's going to play a little bit with the first team because they kind of the way this goes, and fans know it, but I'll just remind them. Is that, okay, a guy flashes in the preseason, and everybody goes, whoa, man, this guy might be able to play. And then what they do is they'll start playing with the ones that go, okay, can he really do something? And so this weekend, Colby, who Kittle loves because he's an Iowa guy, and that's the left guard spot, the only spot that's open on the line right now, even though I hate the center. Literally, I can't stand him. But they've got a left guard spot, and Barch has been hurt at the beginning. Barch is hurt now. Yep. And so they like this kid from Iowa, but the problem is, because the question is, well, what else can they do? Well, it's kind of down the line. They need to go out and get a wide receiver, not just some, has been or never was guy that they're going to pick off the scrap heap. They actually need to probably, I know that people are thinking OBJ. He hasn't been a factor in a long time, but they're going to have to go out and get a receiver and give something up. A Kendrick Bourne, who already knows the system, could come in quickly.
What about Amari Cooper, John? I've heard that name a little bit.
I was told that he's just not really into it. Like he's a weird guy. I don't want to go back too far, but I was doing Raiders pre and post game, and I did one of the first interviews with the guy, and I never got the sense that he loved football, man.
Right.
I remember his first game. He got literally punched in the face by Pac-Man Jones.
I remember that, dude.
Are you tough? Exactly. To just say
he was like,
they were playing Cincinnati, and he was going down the sideline, and he had the ball, and Pac-Man whacked him.
Yep.
Just to say, what's with this kid? And I just, you never got the sense they really loved playing. And so he's kind of just hanging out. Now, if the Niners made him a really great offer, I think he would probably reluctantly come back.
Yeah.
But remember, he's not going to block. He's not going to, there's a lot of things he's not going to do. And so if you're not going to do that on the Niners, I don't know if they'll sign you, even though they're extremely desperate. So just kind of back to what he asked, though, is it's kind of get in line. They need help at safety. They're so young. They have, I'm telling you, watching in camp, if Renardo Green doesn't come back, their backup corners are shit. I mean, they are shit.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem. Like the Raiders took advantage of him in practice yesterday. And now you have a defensive line that's struggling with, some young defensive backs that are going to make some mistakes. And so my point is that they've got other places they have to fortify, and they're just going to have to live with whomever is the left guard and hope that they can survive, because they've got such little depth that when they're starting to get injuries, it's like they're going to have to determine and put in order where exactly they're going to need help. And right now it's wide receiver, where I think they'd have to go out. If some team had excess, it would be a receiver. And then after that, especially if Renardo Green's not ready to go, they're going to have to look at a veteran corner. So that's kind of the order of things.
Well, hey, John, what about real quick, Paulie? What about Gabe Davis? He's somebody I mind have seen in red and gold just to fill the void. I mean, I saw this ESPN rankings, and granted, it's only ESPN rankings, but they had the Niners wide receiver room as literally the 32nd ranked wide.
It is right now. Yeah, it is right now. I don't know what's going on with that dude, because I asked some people, and he tried out he went in and talked to a number of teams in addition to the 49ers, and nobody signed him, which leads me to believe that some of those injuries he's had recently just aren't checking out. Because here's a guy, like you said, that's sitting around going, hey, he was pretty effective. Obviously in Buffalo, wasn't that great in Jacksonville, but you would think, I mean, based on what they have right now, I mean, if you think about it, it's Pearsall who you got to count on, even though he's hurt. If we assume Jennings isn't going to get this thing done, he probably will. But if you assume that he doesn't, then Brock was talking up Jacob Cowing yesterday. And I'm like, tell me how many 5'9", 175-pound wide receivers are effective in the league. Like that's why guys don't get taken at that size, because they do that. You don't have to be Al Davis size, weight, speed, but there's got to be something to it. So if there's nobody like that, and he wasn't overly impressive as a rookie, so you have Cowing, you have Pearsall, Russell Gage, because he's a veteran and has been there, done that. I mean, would that be your week one starting receivers at Seattle? That's not encouraging.
No, it's not. It's really not. And John, we appreciate the time today, man. I'll give you one more question, and then we'll release you into the wild, and you can enjoy your weekend. But I'm curious about Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I think people have just kind of made the assumption that he will be back and playing at that, that all-pro level. And I hope that's the case. I mean, I really do. But the fact is, at this point in CMC's career, he is an older back. He has had injury problems. And I think to assume that he can be as productive as he's been, when he's at, the very, very top of his game, that would be ideal. But I'm not assuming we're going to get that. What do you think the status is of Christian McCaffrey, like his health, and what's a reasonable expectation for him this year?
I think he's as healthy as he's been. I think he's going to have a great year. I don't think he's going to have a year like 23. I don't think that's realistic. But let's put it this way, because a lot of people love fantasy football. If he's on the board in like the middle of your first round, I mean, you're going to take Saquon Barkley first. Some people are going to take Henry of the Ravens after that. But I'm telling you, CMC looks incredible in camp, and every single time. And I think people should just stop asking. Every time he gets asked, he's like, what else do I got to prove that I'm healthy?
Right.
And look, it's a combination of people going, well, you were hurt a lot with Carolina, and, and you're getting a little bit older. You're getting to that other side of 20 where people start saying at 30. But you know what? He's going to be I think he's going to be an exception to the rule, because he just works so hard at it. And the only problem is right now, see the same thing with depth. Guarendo's out. Jordan James, who looked really good, the rookie kid out of Oregon, I saw him a lot. He looked great. He's got a broken finger. So now you're Abdul, the guy the veteran they signed, he's on injured reserve. So now we're down to like a guy like Corey Kiner, who a lot of people are going, what? That's the backup running back right now. So what Kyle's going to do, and Kyle always does this because he just can't help himself, is they're going to overuse McCaffrey because they have to. Kyle loves it, and McCaffrey never wants to come off the field. So every year he goes, we're going to use him less. No, you're not.
No.
Like, you just can't help it. So the only thing I would be concerned about is they're going to overuse them, especially with the wide receivers the way they are.
Yes.
So when they go into that week to finally, get ready for Seattle, and if they have the same wide receiver core that, as you just pointed out, is the shittiest in the league, then all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess the game plan is going to be heavy 23. And then the question will be, can he handle that? Which I think he can, but still.
I'm sorry, Tony, go ahead.
What concerns me the most, John, is that the defenses are just going to focus on the running game, and they're going to force Brock to throw. when they have this wide receiver core that's just
and then we start worrying about the offensive line, Tony. Like they're going to be forced to throw. Can he be protected?
Yeah, and Denver took them apart. I mean, and again, we're talking about practice, but still, I mean, it was they had on them pretty good. The Raiders don't have that kind of defensive line outside of Max Crosby, so they were fine. And they moved the ball and they made big plays. The Raiders are on the eternal search for defense, so they made some big plays against them. Ricky looked really good yesterday, but it was concerning to watch them against Denver. And remember, just a small caveat to that is they don't put Trent Williams in these joint practices.
Right.
They don't put Trent Williams out there. And the reason they don't is because think about like the tough guy at a like the tough bouncer or something. Everyone wants a shot at the big guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why they take Trent out, because they think all these guys who are trying to make a name for themselves are trying to get at Trent. And it's like, look, man, there's only so much impact a 37-year-old, even though he's like Superman, can take. So they pull him out. So remember, against Denver, when Brock was running for his life, Trent wasn't playing 11 on 11, and he wasn't yesterday either. So, when he gets in there, 37 or not, automatically the line's going to be that much better. But I agree with you, especially for week one, because Seattle's got a really good defense, and Mike McDonald's the guy that ran Baltimore's defense, and they're going to be tough, man. And and you're 100% right. They're going to say, look, we can match up one-on-one with their receivers, Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen and that, and they're going to bring extra guys, and they're going to run blitz, and they're going to stop the run, and they're going to say, if you can beat us with these receivers, go for it.
Right?
Yeah. It's going to be tough.
Well, and like you said, that Trent Williams is a guy that we don't really need to be concerned about. Like, we know when he hits the field week one, he's going to be ready to ball. And John, listen, we're on a different schedule today, so we got to bounce. But dude, we freaking love you. It's great to see your face. And any new news or updates with the show? Anything you want to throw out there to our audience?
Things are going good. Everything is cool. I'm doing my show at night, so I don't want to conflict with your Wednesday thing. But I was doing them in the morning, and then I just found that there was more people kind of home, and I pretty much, unfortunately, I ditched the Giants for the most part, because I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan about it. I feel bad, and I really like Bob Melvin. He's been so good to me through the years of my kid and at spring training, and he's done so many nice things. And he's such a great guy. I've seen him at Cal basketball games, and I mean, Bob Melvin as a person, it doesn't get any better, but he's got to go. There's just no way around it. That he's just underachieving year after year. He did it with the Padres at the end. I love Bob. But man, something's missing. They're too good to be this bad.
I agree.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Hey, John, on the way out too, Dom Peralta says he's a super as well. He says, "Come on."
I love Dom, dude.
And Dom's the best. He says, "We miss the daytime sweet cherry pie," is what he says.
I love it, man. Yeah, I did the stripper voice many, many times, and I could certainly do it on demand like that. But hey, guys, get off those wallets. Time for sweet cherry pie. Remember, she's on main stage. Destiny's on main stage. Come on, guys. Those dollars, those George Washingtons, you're smashing them down. Get some Abraham Lincolns, maybe some Andrew Jacksons. Let's go with a little sweet cherry pie for Dom on main stage. I would love to do it. Right across. Remember when we were both the 95.7 Ed and KBR were across from, what was that joint? What was the strip joint? And they would have
the Gold Club.
The Gold Club, and they would have, and it was so funny because we were on at noon, and they had that buffet, which I would never go to a strip club and eat at a buffet, but whatever, like hair in my food.
No.
There would be all the nerds from all the tech companies, and they would have a line out the door of like 25 guys would be outside at noon on a Friday, and they would always be like, "Oh, it's the buffet," and we're like, "Come buffet, get out of here!" Like that was insane, man. Back in the day, when Thirsty Bear, people were partying, and you could look out the door and see in the window and like all these people on a Friday out at the outside the Gold Club waiting for the buffet.
Hey, check this out, John. I'll leave you with this, man. I can't say it on the air today, but this is a great teaser for the next time you and I hang out, like off the air, if we go out and have drinks or something, which we will. We need to do that before the year's up. We got to all get together and have a little Christmas party. But next time we hang out without the audience, involved in the show, John, I will tell you, and Tony will back me on this, we will tell you privately which former KNBR host had a significant other that did some dancing over at the GC. Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah. Tony, you know what I'm talking about. Like, we're not going to get into it right now, but this is John way back in the day. We're talking.
Give me the initials. No,
I can't do that.
Man,
I can't. It'll have this guy.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we're
really.
We're talking
somebody
late
behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I'm just wondering.
Oh no,
on the guy on the mic, a guy who was on the mic.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now this is late '90s. This is when Tony and I first started, but we saw this guy's significant other like going into the GC. We're like, well, with the bag, like this kind of gym bag. We're like, damn, you're going to work in there, aren't you? Yeah.
Wow. I can attest. I went into the Gold Club to double check. I did a recon mission.
Only for R&D, research and development.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can tell you, since you're in Oregon, and I know you guys got to run, so I'm gonna get out of your hair. But since you're in Oregon, which, by the way, by far the most strip clubs per capita in the United States of America, because it rains so much, and literally they are not only on every corner. There's like 3 in a neighborhood. I mean, it's almost like your local grocery, like they're everywhere there, because it rains so much, people got to go somewhere, they're gonna commit suicide or something. So I lived there for a number of years and worked for a station in Portland, and I did partake. I met a girl there, and I didn't know at the time that she was a stripper, because like every third girl is, because there's so many clubs there. And so I didn't even realize I had, and then she told me, and then she was part of a day crew, which like a C- crew. And she would go, and I went in there one time and I broke right up with her, because it's like, they have to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
So you can't date a stripper, because it's just like they're nice to everybody and they have to, and I get it, and you're making a living and everything. But like we'd go out to dinner or something like that, and I'd be like, I'll pay. No, and she'd go, no, I can handle it. And she'd pull out this wad of bills, and I was like, it just reminds you of like, they're beer stained and they stink. And I'm like, no, man. I'm like, go to the bank, put it in the bank. And she's like, no, I like to have cash, and I pay cash for everything. And I'm like, she brings out a wad of ones to like pay for dinner one time. And I go, that's it. Like I was on the edge anyway. Like I can't do this. And all my friends said, you can't visit her at work. Don't visit her at work. And I went in one time and kind of incognito, like, what's this all about? Yeah. And I was like, okay, that I can't handle that.
Bad move. No, it's a bad move.
Yeah. But then like 48 hours later, we go to, I don't know, some place to eat. And she goes, no, I'll take care of it. And just seriously, like a wad of cash. I'm like, yeah. This ain't gonna, like she's a drug dealer, man. I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work.
Don't try this at home, kids. This is not the path to a healthy relationship.
No, it's not. It's not.
Johnny, we freaking love you, brother. Anything we can do for you anytime, just knock on our doors. We're always around. Man. And keep up the great work on the show. The audience loves you. We love you, Johnny. Take care, bro.
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, John.
John Lund, everybody. So good to see that guy. And Tony, we are going to go up tempo on the way out the door. Are you ready? What are you pointing at? What?
I'm pointing at Escobar the third. Okay. He wanted to get a super, and he just put this up here, and he says, like Chris Tucker once said, you never jump in front of a black man in a buffet line. Dude, Escobar, nice super, dude. I love it. Sorry I didn't get that up with John Lund, but dude, John is the king. I think he's going 7 p.m. on weeknights, which is great. And then that parlay goes right into us on Wednesday nights. And I think it goes right into Quality Hang with Rod Brooks on weeknights too. So John's at 7. I think obviously we're on at 8 on Wednesday nights, and Rod goes on around between 8 and 8:30 on weeknights as well. So it's great stuff. It's a Bay Area Sports Collective, and I want to thank John for coming on. He's just the freaking best.
John rules. He's one of the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet. He's great at what he does. Thank you again, John Lund, our Bay Area Sports Collective brother.
Yes, Paulie.
Peep this, particle heads. PMP's weekly musical assignment begins now, right
now. There we go, buddy. There we go.
Hey, check this out. I'm going first. You're going to wrap it up today because you're Mr. Beasties. I'm like a more casual fan. Great if Tony's a big Beastie fan.
Hey, let me know how. Do you want me to scroll through the people that emailed in their musical assignment after you, or do you want me to go before you?
No,
you tell
run
me.
through those first. You can run through the listeners first. Yeah, let's hear what they sent in. And the music assignment today, if you missed it, all it is, we just asked you for your favorite Beastie Boys track. Tony and I have stumbled into several Beastie Boys moments on the air recently, just riffing, laughing, quoting the lyrics. And I was like, you know what, dude? Let's celebrate and it was Yauk's birthday. Adam Yauk had a birthday last week. Rest in peace. Such a sad thing that he died. And he did all that great work for the Tibetan monks and Tibetan freedom. I mean, he really did. He put his money where his mouth was, or his mouth where his money was, rather. And, he went out there and did a lot of great work, while he was on this planet. So today we celebrate Yauk. We celebrate the Beasties. T, tell us what came in. I'm curious.
Well, we got our boy John Joseph going the Punk Beasties route, and he says Egg Raid on Mojo by the Beastie Boys and Riot Fight on the Beastie Boys. And he also says shout out to the girl Bay Area ground inspired a band by the Beastie Boys called the Yeasty Girls.
Wow.
And they have a track called Yeast Power or a track called You Suck, which is awesome, dude. Stevie B checking in. He says it's a tie between Sure Shot and So What You Want. And he also, the instrumental Futterman's Rule, dude. Great freaking call. Futterman's Rule is a great instrumental, and Sure Shot and What You Want. Dom Peralta checking in. He says What You Want. Also, have to check your head. He also says Get It Together off Ill Communication and Slow and Low from License to Ill. Thank you, Dom, for that. Escobar, what does he have for us? He says 3 MCs and 1 DJ. 3 MCs and 1 DJs. And he also says, I'm trying to read it. He says, choices, the track the Beasties did with Nas called Too Many Rappers. Great call, dude. Escobar, you're on fire today. Noemi, she says, top 3, Sabotage. She says, the video is perfection. She says, the song Girls, for these lyrics, Jock and Mike D to my dismay.
No question. Yeah, jocking, Tony. Jocking Mike D. Yeah.
And she says, fight for your right. She says, they make that they make 2 syllables out of the word where makes the song gold. Where, right? When they say where.
Oh yeah.
So that's from Noemi. And then we've got Ray. He says no sleep till Brooklyn. Great freaking call. And he also says Sabotage. And then we've got Jerome checking in. He says this is a hard one. Way too many favorites to choose from. But he says Sure Shot, which features the sample of Howlin' for Judy by jazz flutist Jeremy Steig, and he says Eggman with the funky Superfly theme sample, and The Sounds of Science samples 5 songs from the Beatles, including When I'm 64. Great call. And he says, Jerome, have a great weekend. He says Jerome, aka Miami Rome. What's up, dude? And then let's see. Jorge Diaz says Brass Monkey, Paul Revere, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Girls, and Posse in Effect. By the way, Jorge Diaz is also known as Candlestick Kid.
Nice.
Thank you for that, Jorge. And then we have Steve Grosh. What's up, Grosh? He goes, Shake Your Rump. He goes, Shake Your Rump off of Paul's Boutique. That's for him. And that's from Steve Groschel. And that rounds out the musical assignment from pollyspod@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for bringing those in. pollyspod@gmail.com. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you all. Polly, go.
Okay, man, I will. And thank you guys. That's great. They're all great. It's like, I think this is going to launch me into, I actually got to get in the car and drive over to the East Bay. But when I do that right after the show, I might be bumping Beasties the whole way over. I mean, I really might. This is really getting me in the mood. So I'll go first, Tony, you rap, and then we'll say goodbye for the weekend. I was going to do so what you want, dude. I love the whole, and Yauk, I think, kind of owns that one. He goes, let it flow like a mudslide. I got depth of perception in my text, y'all. And by the way, shout out to the Beasties chucking y'all around like at the end of every sentence. Y'all, everything's y'all. And I love y'all too. I say y'all all the time. So since everybody did So What You Want, Tony, I'll go with another track off of Check Your Head. And I'm going to pull out Pass the Mic. I'm a big Pass the Mic fan. My name is D, y'all, and I don't play, and I can rock a house party till your hair turn gray. So I'm going to go Pass the Mic. Great Mike D stuff going on in that one. And then, dude, off Paul's Boutique, I got to go with Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun. Dude, there's so many great lines in that track. Like, cause I'm out on a mission, a stolen car mission. Had a small problem with the transmission. Got a stake on my head cause I got into a fist fight. Like, dude, they're just dropping. And then the classic, that my favorite maybe Beasties lyric of all time. Looking down the barrel of a gun, son of a bitch, getting paid, getting rich. Yeah, dude, the whole thing. So for me, T, Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun and Pass the Mic, y'all. And Tony, finish strong, bro.
I'll finish strong for you, Paulie. First of all, I'm going to go the instrumental for me. The selection I would like to take is Ricky's Theme. I love the track.
Okay.
Ricky's Theme. And then I would also like to take, Paulie, for the vocal track, I'd like to echo Steve Groschel. I was going to do Gratitude, but I would like to go back onto Paul's Boutique and say, Shake Your Rump. I'm going to because I love the, it's the joint. Ball.
Yeah, that drone. It's kind of like our drone at the end.
I also got arrested at the Mardi Gras for jumping on a float. My man MCA's got a beard like a billy goat. Oh, it's my disco call MCA. I'm getting rope, y'all. Dude, it's just
I'm getting exactly. I'm getting rope, y'all. Yeah, y'all, bro. Yeah.
It's just, if you go back and read Beastie Boys lyrics while they're rapping, it is so much fun. I highly recommend it. Pull up lyrics to any of their tracks and listen to the track and read along to everything that they say, all of the references, all the rhymes, and all the samples involved too. It's masterful what the Beastie Boys did for years and years. So, Paulie, great call with the musical assignment today, man. So much fun.
It was fun, and I'm adding the tracks as we speak. I'm adding them onto the PMP playlist 25. If you want to go grab this on Spotify, Creative Tony handles the Apple playlist music, so that'll be over there as well. And yeah, dude, Beastie Boys is just, I don't know. Every time we talk about them, we both have a big smile on our face, and I figured it'd be a good way to go into the weekend. So again, let's thank Stellar Design, Dom Peralta, Dominic at stellar.design. Give them a call anytime. Stellar Design is at your disposal and at your service. If you need artwork done for your next product launch, your next event, your next meeting, what have you, Don Peralta can utilize that and bring it all to life for you. 650-796-3144. Stellar creates award-winning design and meaningful connections between people, product, and brand. So again, whether you're a startup with an idea or a Fortune 500 company, Stellar Design offers that partnership to achieve out of this world design. Stellar.design.com. Make design impact. Also, thank you, Longbridge Pizza. Freaking love you guys down there. Creative Tony, the kings of the dog patches, I like to call them, on 3rd Street, 2347 3rd Street. Get on down there this weekend. If you're going out to the yard, watch some Giant baseball, you know the drill. Hit Longbridge before, hit Longbridge after. Patty from Napa hit Longbridge after the Dead shows in Golden Gate Park a couple of weeks ago. Make sure you get down there, join the Vibe Tribe. If you're headed out for the San Francisco Pizza, Beer, and Bagel Fest, I will see you down there tomorrow, kids. Tony, I can't wait to eat my way. In fact, you know what? I might do some VIP stuff from the Pizza Fest.
You should. You stuffing your face with the pizza and drinking a beer, dude. Give me that. Can I get that on film, please?
I guess, please. Can I get that, please? Yeah, I think we can probably work something out, T. And lastly, what's on your thing? Your final thoughts and words today, T.
Final thoughts are, I just want to remind people about Dom Peralta and Stellar Design's Baller Cam. It's like when your iPhone and their AI work together to automatically pan, zoom, live stream, record the full game, capture highlights. Ballercam.com, because I love that because it's sports related. And then also, Paulie, I want to just wish everybody who's going to Zach Bryan at Golden Gate Park today. I know a ton of people going to the show. They're basically using so Den Company had the stages first, then Outside Lands, now Zach Bryan's. Golden Gate Park is going off in August. It's great. And then Hardly Strictly Bluegrass is coming up too in a couple months. I can't wait for that either. But also, Paulie, Escobar was a super, and I wanted to honor him as well, because he says, I'll say it again, Beastie Boys were my first concert I went to as a fan. I was 7.
Damn, dude.
That's street cred for life in my mind. You see the Beastie Boys when you're 7 years old, that's street cred for life, Escobar. That's phenomenal. Hopefully you wore that vest, or that is it a vest, or is it just a
I think it's a tank. I think it's like a tank top. Yeah. And Escobar knows, dude. He knows. I got depth of perception in my text, y'all. Dude, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm about to pass the mic. What's up? Anyway, enjoy. You guys enjoy the weekend. Go Giants. Go Niners. I'll be watching tomorrow. I'll be taping the game, actually, but when I get home from Pizza Fest, I'll be watching on DVR. Tony, you have a great time up there in the Rapids, your ATV and all that nonsense. Throw some VIP stuff out there. We'll see you back here on Monday, kid.
I will. And I just wanted to remind people, too, if you want to buy tickets for the Pizza, Bagel, and Beer Festival in North Beach, Washington Square Park, where Paulie will be and Longbridge Pizza will be, Neil Donardi, purplepass.com. On their website, purplepass.com. The event is up there to buy tickets. You get all the beer, all the pizza and bagels you can eat, and 4 beers. Or you can just Google San Francisco Pizza, Bagel, and Beer Fest, and it'll come up for you. So,
all right. Thanks for a great week, Tony. Thank you, Don Peralta, Robot Centaur, Aspiring Botanist, John Joseph, The Nutter, Noemi, Miguel, Escobar, Joe Schmo. These are the names I can see right now. Aspiring Botanist, thank you very much. Rags, all of y'all. Have a great weekend, y'all. Creative Tony, bring in the Professor Dave, and we'll say goodbye. Class dismissed. Oh, and silly me, Tony. Thank you, John Lund. Thank you, John Lund. Big thank you to John. I love John. Always just great to see his face. Creative Tony, have a great weekend, brother. Drive safe on your way back to the Bay, and we'll drop anchor again. We'll see everybody right here. PMP launches next week, Monday morning, 11 a.m. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe, and we'll see you right back here on Monday. Cheers, y'all.
Peace.